today's video. Going to be replacing this steering box on this 79 Ford 100. And the reason why is because it's right out this upper seal.
You can see it's leaking all down the frame.
So we're going to go ahead and replace it. Smaller line is 1/2 inch. Bigger one is a 5/8. This bolt is a replacement since the last one stripped, so yours might be a 1/2 inch or so. This one's a 9/16. Bolts out. We'll go ahead and loosen it just for now, because you won't be able to get it off until the whole box slides away from it. But you can see right there, we have some play in it, so it's not binding into the shaft. So now we'll go under and mess with the bottom. This nut is a 1 5/16. I don't have that on me, but I do have a 1/3 or 4, which is close enough. There's almost no play in it. Lock washer. Nut. You can get one of these pullers. You can rent them from your parts store. I'm gonna slide it on. Once you center it, go ahead and tighten it down. Mine's a 19mm. There you go, come right out. Then this can just move out of the way since it's on a ball joint. And inside of here, there's 4 slots that are wider, and that's what you're going to want to line up or output shaft on. But that'll be for when we install the new one.
There's 3 bolts that hold the box on. 1, 2, and 3. To get to this 3rd one, we're going to have to move this brake line bracket. So we're going to go ahead and do that first.
9/16 for the upper. On the back side of this bottom one, there's a nut, so you're going to need a 1/2 inch wrench on it. And you can see right there is where the wrench goes. 1/2 inch bolt. Got the nut. Pull the bolt out. He's here. 3 5/8. Last one right here, you're going to want to support it because it's the last one holding the box in. It won't fully fall because just how it's set up. It's going to be hung up on the input shaft, and it's just going to come fall and sit on the frame. But you just don't want to let it fall. And so now it's getting held on by the frame and then the upper input shaft. So now I'm going to go under the truck and I'm going to slide it down. It's going to go between the frame and the exhaust down there. And I'm going to probably have to come back here just to unseat it from the input shaft. Put a mark on the input shaft and then on the casing. I already did this off camera, but I got 2 rotations each way. 1, 2, and so go backwards 2, 1, 2. That's centered. And the other way, 1, 2, and it lines up. So we know that this is centered with 2 rotations. Now that we got this lined up, this is where we're going to try to keep steady. And with the input shaft lined up, I put a marking on these center slots because there's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 under. So what I'm going to try to do is once I place this in place before I put the input shaft, I'm going to make sure that this is lined up, because as long as this stays lined up, I know that more or less that's straight. While I'm under there, I'm going to be lifting with the pry bar on this box while I put in the bolt that slides in the groove. We're going to temporarily tighten this just to make sure that the threads are catching. I know it's going to be hard to tell because the GoPro's so far. Me trying to pull this out, it's not, because it's already on threads. If I can spin it by hand, you know that the threads are good. With this still loose, we're going to go ahead and line up the bolts for the mount of the box. And you can kind of see the holes are kind of lined up. So we're going to have to just move the box a little bit just to line up the bolts. Not to put the arm on. Of course, this side's off the ground because the wheel's off. I also jacked up the passenger side. So now I can move this back and forth to make it easier to line this arm up with the 4 slots. With the wheels off the ground, you want to do full lock about 2 or 3 times to make sure that you can manually bleed whatever you can before the power steering pump is on. This way you minimize the chance of the pump running dry. So we did that a couple times. You can see I'm pretty still full in the reservoir, so we're gonna have to go ahead and start it. And there you go. And that's how you replace these steering gears on these 79 Fords. Hopefully this video helped y'all. Yeah, have a good one.